Kody Brown, the patriarch at the center of the long-running reality television series Sister Wives, has recently opened up in a deeply introspective and candid manner about the dissolution of his plural marriage and the broader failures within his family structure. In a raw and emotional interview segment that has left fans both stunned and reflective, Kody articulated a profound sense of personal accountability, declaring that he must fully own the failure of the family. This admission comes at a pivotal moment in his life, as the once expansive Brown family, known for its unconventional polygamous lifestyle, has fractured into separate paths following years of tension, heartbreak, and irreconcilable differences. For those unfamiliar with the Brown family's journey, Sister Wives first introduced viewers to Kody and his four wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robin, in 2010. The show chronicled their lives in Utah, where they navigated the complexities of spiritual wifery, large family dynamics, and societal scrutiny. What began as a portrait of harmonious multiplicity evolved into a saga of strife, with each wife eventually choosing to leave the marriage for various reasons rooted in emotional neglect, financial strain, and shifting personal priorities. Mary, the first wife, parted ways in 2023 after feeling sidelined. Janelle followed suit amid disputes over independence. Christine's exit in 2021 was marked by public declarations of unhappiness, and while Robin remains, their bond is strained by isolation and grief. Kody's statement, delivered with a vulnerability that contrasts his earlier charismatic persona, underscores a man grappling with regret and self-reckoning. "I need to own the failure of the family," he stated emphatically, his voice cracking under the weight of years of accumulated sorrow. He elaborated that this ownership is not merely an act of contrition but a necessary step toward healing, for himself, his former wives, and their shared children. The Brown family boasts 18 children across the marriages, many of whom have distanced themselves from Kody in recent years, citing feelings of abandonment and favoritism toward Robin's children. This estrangement has been a recurring theme in the show's later seasons, with heartbreaking scenes of Kody pleading for reconnection only to face rejection. Delving deeper into Kody's rationale, he attributes much of the family's unraveling to his own shortcomings as a husband and father. He confessed to prioritizing his spiritual convictions over practical emotional needs, often dismissing the individual desires of his wives in favor of a rigid interpretation of their shared faith. "I was so focused on the principle of plural marriage that I lost sight of the people," Kody reflected. This tunnel vision, he admitted, led to a cascade of miscommunications and unmet expectations. For instance, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Kody's strict adherence to personal safety protocols isolated him from his children and exacerbated tensions, as some wives and kids viewed his rules as controlling rather than protective. What was intended as safeguarding became a symbol of division, with family gatherings turning into battlegrounds of ideology. Moreover, Kody touched on the financial burdens that plagued the family, particularly after their move from Utah to Arizona and later Flagstaff. The Browns' nomadic lifestyle, driven by the need to evade anti-polygamy laws, resulted in mounting debts from unfinished homes, legal fees, and the sheer cost of supporting such a large brood. Kody acknowledged his role in these fiscal missteps, saying, "I promised prosperity and unity, but delivered stress and separation." He spoke of nights spent poring over budgets, only to realize that his entrepreneurial ventures, ranging from real estate flips to supplement sales, were more dreams than sustainable realities. This admission paints a picture of a man who, despite his charisma, struggled with the pragmatic demands of leadership in a non-traditional family. The emotional toll on Kody is palpable in his words. He described a profound loneliness that settled in after the departures, likening it to wandering a ghost town where every corner echoes with what used to be. Yet, amid the pain there is a thread of hope. Kody expressed gratitude for the lessons learned, emphasizing that true growth comes from confronting one's flaws head-on. He has begun therapy, both individually and in group settings with his ex-wives when possible, to unpack the patterns that led to their collective downfall. "Owning it means apologizing without excuses," he said, "and rebuilding trust one honest conversation at a time." Fans of the series have reacted with a mix of empathy and critique. Social media buzzed with discussions, some praising Kody's maturity, "It's about time he steps up," while others remained skeptical, pointing to past instances where apologies felt performative. One viewer noted, "This feels real, but actions will tell." The Browns' children too have voiced varied responses. Some, like Logan and Aspen, have publicly supported their father's introspection, while others maintain distance, prioritizing their own healing. Looking ahead, Kody's journey of ownership extends beyond personal redemption. He has hinted at writing a memoir that dives into the spiritual and psychological underpinnings of plural marriage, aiming to offer insights for others in similar lifestyles. Additionally, he and Robin are navigating their monogamous chapter, focusing on blending their families without the pressure of expansion. "We're learning to love in the now, not for some ideal future," Kody shared. This moment of reckoning for Kody Brown serves as a microcosm of broader themes in modern family dynamics: the clash between tradition and individuality, the burden of leadership, and the courage required to admit defeat. By owning the failure, Kody isn't erasing the past but illuminating a path forward, one where accountability paves the way for forgiveness. Whether this leads to reconciliation remains unseen, but for now, it marks a turning point in a story that has captivated audiences for over a decade. As Kody put it, "Failure isn't the end, it's the teacher that shows you how to begin again." In expanding on this narrative, it's worth exploring the cultural context of the Browns' faith. Rooted in a fundamentalist branch of Mormonism that embraces polygamy, despite the mainstream church's renunciation in 1890, the family's choices were never just personal but emblematic of a marginalized community. Kody's ownership, therefore, carries weight beyond his household. It's a rare public acknowledgement from within that world, potentially sparking dialogues on reform and empathy. He recounted early days of the marriage, filled with idealism and communal joy, contrasted against later years marred by secrecy and judgment. "We built walls to protect our love, but those walls became prisons," he mused. Furthermore, Kody addressed the role of the television show itself. While Sister Wives brought visibility and financial relief, it also amplified scrutiny, turning private pains into public spectacle. He regretted not setting firmer boundaries, allowing cameras to capture raw vulnerabilities that, in hindsight, needed space to breathe. "The world saw our cracks before we mended them," he said, a sentiment echoed by his ex-wives in their own post-show reflections.